Okay. I think we're back. People in the chat, let me know. Are we now back? Yeah? How's the sound? Fingers crossed it's now coming out of both of your ears? Yes! I am the greatest streamer alive! Genius. Thank you for bearing with me. So, for the second time, welcome to the stream. You will have noticed that things look a little different around here. The first thing that you'll probably notice is that we'll address this like right at the top of the stream. Yes, I am wearing an 18th century shirt. So the reason I am, and no doubt people will be asking in the chat all night, and you'll just have to tell them. You'll just have to tell them later on. The reason is that I got this shirt for well, like I thought that like men's fashion was like pretty restrictive. Okay, now people are saying that I'm lagging, which is frustrating. I'm not really sure there's much I can do about that. It's this new streaming software. Let me see if I can just go at a lower bit rate and see if that does anything. We'll see if that does anything for you. Other than that, I'm afraid there's not really a whole lot I can do. Okay, hopefully. People are starting to say it's stable out. Alright, I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you for all bearing with me. As I say, I'm using a new bit of streaming software tonight, which should hopefully allow me to do a few tricks later on with what you see. So, fingers crossed. And yes, my internet is pretty crap. Okay, cool. I'm now broadcasting at a slightly lower bit rate, so that's good shit. Okay, so as I was saying, the shirt is the first thing. Now the stream can actually start. The shirt. So I got it. I thought that like I basically own two kinds of shirts, like formal collared shirts and muscle shirts, like tight shirts like I wear in videos. And so I was like, men's fashion is really restrictive, and I always wanted like an 18th century like pirate shirt, and I thought that well, basically I went into a charity shop a while ago and I tried on this shirt and it was like a pirate shirt, and it was really, really cool. I liked it. It was a bit small. It didn't really work. It was like too tight. And then I realized the buttons are on the wrong side. And then I realized, man, this is a blouse. I was like, if this were bigger, I'd probably just wear it. So I was like, no, what I really want is a pirate shirt. So I went and got one. So now I have it. And I wore it in the mental health video, which is coming out on the 28th. I wear it because I briefly play Hamlet, so I can also now write it off as technically costume, even though I just wear it around the house. So, at the top of the stream, we have now established why I'm wearing this, and also it's awesome. So that's cool. The other thing you will no doubt have noticed is the coloured lights behind me, which I'm very, very pleased with. I got them just the other day, and I like taped them all up under my bookshelves, and I can even. Check this out. I should be able to change the colour. Yes! Look at that. I can do all different colours. I can even set it to like change. But we'll leave it on purple for now. I quite like the purple. So, that's why things have changed a little around here. As I say, I'm always trying to get better and trying to get better at streaming as well. And I've got a few tricks up my sleeve where we go through the comments as well, which is why I got this new software. But yeah, I hope it's all working for you. Also in the chat says, how are your makeup skills coming along? You tell me. I'm wearing it. I think I'm not looking bad tonight. Don't you think? Thank you for everyone your compliments in the chat and for bearing with me as we get started. So I do have some slight tricks. So the purpose of this stream isn't just to show off my new shirt and lighting setup. It's it's to go through the comments and go through the last couple of episodes of the show that I did, and chat about them and hopefully get your feedback as well. So fingers crossed. Everyone hold on to your butts. But here we go. Ah no! What's gone wrong? I should be able to. Let's have this one. Nope. This one. Nope, that's you. Where have you gone? Oh no. Wait, yes, that's it. I've done it. And now we can look at the comments together. Look at that. I'm so pleased with this. I'm learning all the tricks. There you go. Now you can see what I can see, and we can actually go down into the comments together and voyage through them. How good is this? So, first up, I did a video about Elon Musk, which was no, some people saying, is this the part where you accidentally show us some other tabs? No, I've double checked, I double and triple checked, not that I have any other tabs open anyway. But yeah. So, the Elon Musk video, a lot of people really, really liked it. People are saying that it was my best video to date. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with it, overall. I really pushed the boat out. Obviously, you could tell with the editing and the costumes and stuff, and the bit with Tech Pilot at the start. So, yeah, I really pushed the boat out with it, and I was pretty pleased. I thought that I thought it was it was a little bit more than I would usually do, a little bit of a different tone. That was more light-hearted, I suppose. There was more jokey. People really enjoyed the bit where I threw money at a tree. People are saying in the chat. That's cool because I very nearly didn't include that bit. I was like, can I actually go and film that? Can I be bothered? Yeah, go on. So I went up to the forest and I got absolutely eaten alive. I did. I got bitten by mosquitoes a lot as I was filming that, even though it was just a 2-second bit. But I'm really glad people liked it. I even got some fan art with the guy with Tech Pilot throwing money at a tree. So yeah, people like the flirting bit as well. I'm really glad. That was good fun. That was a lot of fun to write. So let's voyage down into the comments together. Hold your nose. I don't know what we might find. I usually try and sit down and read the comments every morning, and I do tend to read all the comments under my videos. But okay, people arguing about the Labour theory of value. Yeah, but just be warned. If we might come across something that's particularly nasty. So people argued about the Labour theory of value a lot in the comments section, and quite a few people brought up. They were like, but why didn't you explain a little bit more about that? There are possible objections you could have gone over. And yeah, it's true, I could have done. I did for that video, just because I've done a whole series on Marx before, right? And I didn't want to stop the Elon Musk video dead and then be like, oh, here's Marxism 101 for 40 minutes. It just would have it would have ground the whole video to a halt. So I thought, this time I'm going to go over the 101 stuff and just take it as read, as in take it that you have read it or are familiar with it. So yeah, I get that some people are like, why don't you go over that in a bit more detail, and that's a fair point. But yeah, that's why anyway. So let's keep going. Nice. Potato Man's piece of ContraPoints has been a good influence on the content. Yeah, definitely. Not just on mine, on a lot of people's, I think. Lindsay left a nice one as well. I'm glad she liked it. That's good fun. And knowing better. Oh, and Hank himself did see it, which was very nice. He was very, very nice about it. Let's see what the replies were. A lot of people trying to radicalize Hank, which is very, very kind of them. Oh, he left a longer one. Okay, let's have a read of this. Just landed in LA after my flight from Australia. Oh, that's right. He was at did go on Australia. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Don't necessarily fit as well with... Okay, so there's a human nature argument there. And the kind of we need to go in things as they exist. I did have a comment, Jenga Tree 121, that's what we're looking at now. So yeah, okay, not a huge fan of the idea of revolution. Nothing prevents employee-owned businesses from being exploitative. Okay, so that's kind of like Hank thinks that, and kind of rightly thinks that just because like capitalism were to end doesn't mean exploitation and or oppression in all forms would, I suppose. Kwame Ture was saying that in the 60s. He was saying like just because you establish socialism doesn't mean you get rid of racism. So that's a fair point. I'm glad that everyone was nice to Hank in the comments as well. That's really good. I'm really glad that like that people feel free to like people feel safe to like leave comments in my comment section without getting abused. Like even though there's not a lot I can do about it, like it's because the comment sections of YouTube videos are like unweeded gardens that go to seed. But yeah. Aha! Scutch left a comment. My son, Scutch. Some of whose art, Scutch, if you're watching, is on my wall directly behind the camera. The art that you'll know about is right there. So Scutch, if you don't know, Scutch Draws on Twitter is an absolutely incredible artist. Very, very talented. As talented with pencil and paper as he is with electronic media. I'm really glad people enjoyed the visual metaphor of throwing money at a tree. Honestly, that came to me like, I was like, go on, that would be funny, stick it in. I was like, that's something that like H-Bomb would do. So I was like, go on, I'll check it. Peter was a big fan of it. That's nice. Yeah, Peter messaged me actually and said it was one of my best. That's really kind of him. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so Potato Ubergang says the Antifa one is still better. I think of the videos I've done, the philosophy of Antifa is one of the ones I'm like most proud of, I think. So yeah. Although I do really like the Musk one. It's up there. I did an interview recently which I don't think is out yet. Where someone was asking like, what are the videos you're most proud of? And I said, oh, like the Antifa one and the Elon Musk one. So yeah. Yeah, Mike C says getting flirted with by Ollie and crucified within 5 minutes is a weird vibe. Yeah, like it is. It is. I thought there was a bit of mood whiplash there. I honestly, like when I was editing it, mood whiplash was something I was worried about. But it really took on like a different. It really took on a different tone in the edit, the Elon Musk one, and I'm finding that happening more and more recently. So the other day, in fact, like last week, I filmed the episode on mental health and suicide, which is going to come out on the 28th. And that took on a whole different vibe in the edit. Like I shot it very, like, well, you'll see that it's not simple. There's like not characters, but stuff cuts back and forth, and there's like weird stuff. But like I shot it to be edited very simply. Like you know how I do the big shot and then the small shot, the big one, small one. But in the edit, like I've really changed it up. But you'll see, some of it messes with the format. Some of it is edited in a very, very, very different way. So you'll see. That's gonna be a heck of a video, that one. I'm kind of nervous about releasing it, but I've got it. It's now in the can. I'm not gonna release it early for patrons for reasons that will become obvious when you see it. But yeah. And yes, there'll be all the content warnings on that video. Don't worry. See this you see this. Srijan Butola says, I don't know how many comments you actually read, but I do want to convey this message. People often like preface their comments with that. I read all the comments, or like as many as I can, which is just about all of them. But yeah, I remember this comment actually. It was really, really good. It was like asking for more like material solidarity, which is a damn fair point. Somebody says, has Elon Musk actually seen your video on Elon Musk? Probably not. Like, He's probably a pretty busy guy. Also, like, is it really about Elon Musk? Kind of uses him as a jumping off point, but yeah. I'm glad people enjoyed the flirting bit. That's really, really kind. Oh, so why was somebody else asked me this actually, and they said why was Tech Pilot American? I mean, really, just like the accent that came to me when I was writing the character is American. It just worked like that. And when I wrote the character of Tech Pilot for a play I was in drama school that we never ended up using, he was American then too, because he's based on an American CEO. A lot of Tech Pilot's dialogue is a fun behind-the-scenes fact for you watching the stream. A lot of Tech Pilot's lines were based on the CEO of Juicero. You might remember the story of Juicero. They like took something like 40 million of dollars of Google's money and then developed like a Wi-Fi enabled juicer that turned out to be totally useless. And then the like, because you could just squeeze the juice pack with your hands, so you didn't need to buy the juice, which is hilarious. But then the CEO of it like doubled down and released this incredible statement where he was just like, no, like, you're all wrong, like the products are really, really good. And I basically like took the words of that statement and like swapped out all of the language to make it about like Pontius Pilate and Jesus, and just used it like pretty much verbatim. So he was based on an American CEO, like a real guy whose name I can't remember, but yeah, the juice squeezing company people are saying in the chat, that's the one. More people enjoying the flirting section, that's nice. Oh, so Mrung3 says leftist YouTube isn't just politics, it's politics and art. Yeah, I've started to think of YouTube videos more as works of art recently. I don't know, like for better, I think. I like thinking of them works of art, because another thing that I've realised, and this is something that like a number of other creators have said as well to me, is we don't feel that a video. I don't feel like a video is like finished. It was like at some point it just needs to be let go, you know. So the mental health one, I don't like. I could conceivably like keep working on it, or I could like go back and like refilm stuff and like re-edit it, but I would just keep doing that forever. Like there comes a point where you just got to let it go. So yeah, it is a little bit like art, but not in the sense of like the aesthetic, but in the sense of just like an act of artistic creation is more how I see it than I used to. So yeah. Oh, a lot of people like the song "Musks Are Still Running the World." Yeah, that's actually it was a cover with one word changed of a Jarvis Cocker song called the polite version is "Running the World." Originally, in the original song, "Musks" isn't musks; it's another 5-letter word which kind of sounds a bit like musk, but is a very, very bad word. So I knew I couldn't sing that. Originally, I was just going to sing the original Jarvis Cocker version, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't just repeatedly yell the word on YouTube. So I've got to like substitute. And I was like, oh, musks, obviously. Like that's obviously what I need to change it up to. People in the chat asking, how long do I spend every day reading? Not as much as I should, like, because I mean, I should read more, really, but we've got a PS4 in the house now, so my reading time's gone down. And also because I now live closer into the centre of London, I don't have enough time. I don't have as much time to read on the old tube. So. Oh, Little Mountains says, in your video about Slavoj Žižek and violence, you said a dispassionate analysis was undesirable. Okay, so for those who don't know, a little while ago I did a video on Slavoj Žižek. It must have been over a year ago now I did that. Where I talked about his book, Violence. And in that he says that like that we need to be dispassionate when we understand violence in politics. And I was like, in my video, like critiquing it, I was like, well, it seems to me that like if you have a totally dispassionate view of violence, and that might exclude some of the perspectives of people who are like themselves wrapped up in it, who presumably are quite passionate about it, or might cause them to if you say to somebody who's giving an account of violence that they face, you must be dispassionate, then they might like, you know, change how they report it. So yeah, I just thought it was an odd insistence of Zizek's. Yeah, that's just my kind of half-formed thoughts on it, really. The H-Bomber Guy School of Metaphorical Cutaways set in woods. Oh yeah, H-Bomb does do a lot of stuff in the woods, doesn't he? Well, it's because H-Bomb lives in the woods in Wales. He's like a cryptid. Oh, the Musk video came out on Kristen Rower's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Kristen. Mike Yarrington, more tight shirts. Sorry to disappoint you, Mike. Oh, speaking of shirts, though, I suppose now is a good time to talk about this. Maybe I'll just for a moment switch back to here while I talk about this. So, for those of you who don't know already, I'm a professional actor in the rest of my life, and I'm in a play tomorrow. I'm in a play tomorrow in London at the Southwark Playhouse at 7:30 p.m. The play is called Thursday. It's part of an evening of short plays. Yeah, I'm going to be in it. It's about the alt-right on university campuses, so that's going to be really fun. It was written by a guy called Joe Marsh, who I met today, who's really, really nice. So if anyone does want to come and see me on stage in a play about the alt-right, talking about philosophy, in which my character slags off Jordan Peterson, which is fun, and also the reason I brought it up because we're talking about shirts is because the two options that were floated for my costume were gimp suit or shirtless, and we've gone with shirtless. So if you were like very keen to see me like with my kit off, 7:30 tomorrow night at the Southwark Playhouse, you'll get to see that. I don't think there will be pics, Tory Casebeer. Sorry, I don't think it is going to be. It is actually going to be. No, I don't think it is going to be video. It's one of those live things. Got to be there. So yeah, that's going to be cool. It's going to be a really fun play. Yeah, it's really fun. It's a really fun like. The setup to the play is that there's a university lecturer who's played a video of a right-wing intellectual in class. Who the intellectual that they've played isn't Jordan Peterson, but it's like sort of XB of Jordan Peterson, and his two colleagues are like grilling him on why he's played this video and like whether he thinks it's appropriate and so on. So yeah. L says BRB buying my $700 plane ticket. The play is called Thursday. That's all it's called. But yeah, it's really, really fun. It's, I'm afraid, probably not going to be shown anywhere else because it's just like a one-night short play as part of a whole evening of short plays. So, but yeah, if you want to come, I'll be there, and of course I'll be at the bar afterwards as well. Okie dokie. Why don't we go back to here and we can look at some more comments. If I find out where I put them, there they are. Oh, hello, Bush Jr. the Great. The same. Okay, so this is one of the ones we talked about a little bit earlier on. Like, people wanted me to go over the Marx stuff in a bit more detail, which, like, yeah, fair point, but it would have made the video like 9 million times as long. Danman1950 says, "How come you don't cover more Eastern philosophy?" Purely because I don't know that much about it. I imagine I'll get along to it at some stage because my research assistant John might be able to help me out with that now that I've got a research assistant. So, you know, we'll see. QWERTY Man says, if it's a one-time performance, can you record it? I don't think so, because I would need, you know, we would A, need the equipment, and B, we'd need the permission of the writer and the theatre and everything. And also, like, you know, it's live theatre. It's like, it's meant to be experienced live, and if you record something, it's kind of like, it doesn't really work, it doesn't really translate. So, yeah. So, probably no, I don't think it is going to be recorded, I'm afraid. Sorry. Saint Shinobi says I look like a swole Tony Stark. That's very kind of him. That's an interesting comment by Snurd Burglar. I hated your Why the Left Will Win video, but I could tell 30 seconds into this one that you're still LeftyTube's absolute boy. Well, that's very kind of you, Snurd Burglar. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, the Why the Left Will Win video did really, really well. But if I'm honest, like, I made it pretty quickly, and I wasn't overly happy with the Why the Left Will Win video. I don't think it's my best. I think I could have done better. You know, I made it in a hurry because I needed to get something out to fill the schedule, and it was actually part of the reason I wanted to go down to 2 videos a week. Sorry, 2 videos a week, crikey. To 1 video every 2 weeks, was because that I like felt I was rushing. So that was part of the reason I turned it down, and I had no idea that it was gonna like blow up in the way that it did and get the responses that it did, which I've talked about on stream before. So yeah, I'm glad people liked it though. Yeah, and Mac McSkullface says it's an impressive American accent. Yeah, a lot of people said that it was good, and I'm pretty pleased. Like, I can spot a few instances in the video where it slips, but yeah, I had a very good accent coach at drama school who helped me out a lot, and I was been like pretty strong on learning accents. So I think it's easier for it seems to be easier in my experience anyway for British actors to learn American accents than the other way around. I don't know if there are any American actors who can verify that or not, but let's just clean up the chat a little. There we are. Yes, the new microphone sound, says Hermes Boozer. Yes, I was very, very pleased with the new mic sound. That sounded really, really good. I was really happy with it. The flirting worked on me. Nice. Oh, Joel Rosario says, I like how this video uses horror. Wait till the mental health one. There's some pretty horrible things going on in that. PC in the chat says, I got my best friend in philosophy tube and she loves it, but she was disappointed with the left ball video. She thought it wasn't balanced. Yeah, I don't think it was either. As I say, I don't think it was my best. Don't think it was my best, but like I'm glad that it went down okay, and I sort of learned stuff from doing it. So, and I really wanted to make a video about Simplican's distinction between communities of strength and vulnerability, which was just a tiny bit of her. I think it was in her appendix. Not her literal appendix, obviously the appendix of the book. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I was glad that I really wanted to include it in the video because I honestly thought it was like a genuinely beautiful distinction. I know I was criticised for using the word beautiful by that guy who did the reply video, but no, I genuinely think it is. Like, so. Curio in the chat says, my girlfriend's sister couldn't bear the flirting section. She had to leave the room. I hope in a positive way. I hope it wasn't in a negative way. Wait, somebody else had to. I think Fiona texted me saying that she was watching one of my videos with Riley J. Dennis and Riley had to leave. Riley left the room because it was flirty. I don't remember which bit it was though. Yeah. Yeah. Scaledroman says, have I had my appendix removed? Not yet. I imagine it'll happen eventually. It's just me. Just says daddy. Nice. Somebody says a good Steve Jobs impression. Yeah, Tech Pilot was his dialogue was based on that American CEO of Juicero, but his sort of cadence and delivery and the way he sort of goes up at the end of certain words and the way there's like pauses between words was obviously based on Steve Jobs, as was the outfit. Yeah. Let's put that back to the start. Okay. Do. Nice. George Turner says, have you released a video with makeup on yet? So I'm wearing some now, and when so the first main episode of the show that we release with me wearing makeup will be the mental health one on the 28th. So I filmed two recently. I filmed one on mental health and suicide, which is going to be out on the 28th, and then I filmed one on ancient Greek skepticism and transphobia, which is a fun one. I hired some script consultants for that one, some of whom you may know, and that's going to turn out really well. I still need to film the B-roll for that. My flatmates are out of the flat this week, so I can film as much B-roll as I want in here. So actually, that's why my door's open tonight. It's just us in the flat. My flatmates are out, so yeah, it's just us. And I can stream with the door open and don't need to worry about being loud or anything. So, okay, cool. Why don't we take a look now? Still with me? Yeah, let's take a look at the airport security one. So this was really, really fun. Yeah, the airport security one was really, really good. So here's a fun behind the scenes fact about this. So you know how there's the little vlogs at the beginning, the middle, and the end of that video, like as I go from London, and then there's one in Reykjavik, and there's one in America. So there was a little bit of movie magic involved in the filming of those vlogs, and I can tell you people on the stream, as a special secret, as a behind the scenes reward for turning up. But the first two ones, the one in London and the one in Reykjavik, were filmed on the way out to America. But when I actually got to the US and landed, I got delayed in passport control because they put me in the wrong line, and I was in there for like 90 minutes, and you can't vlog in passport control. So by the time I got out, I was like knackered, and there were people waiting for me on the other side who I was keen to see. So I didn't actually get to finish the third vlog on the way out. So on the way back to London, 10 days later, I put on the same clothes and I filmed that final bit of the video, the final vlog section, in a different city than the one I flew in from. So the little bit of movie magic. Obviously, as you watch the whole video, although I don't explicitly say it, the implication is that you're watching one journey. Actually, I'm afraid that the final bit was filmed on a different day, which is why if you go back and watch it again, so in fact, I'll be able to show it to you now through the magic of streaming, so you can see. I'll mute it. You'll be able to see here. Let me just see. Look at me there, okay? Look at my hair, and then look at my hair here. It's actually that's like 10 days longer. Now that you see it side by side, you can tell, right? You can tell. See? And then actually, if we go to the Reykjavik bit in the middle, you'll see that I've got a bit of stubble going on there, right? You can see it because I've been on the plane for a while. Whereas actually here, I've actually got less stubble because I shaved before I went to the airport. Also, I don't know if you can see it very clearly here, but you can also see I've got a mark on my left shoulder, on my right shoulder there, that I don't have anywhere else because I picked that up while I was in the US. So there's a little bit of movie magic in that. I'm sorry, but it was it made the video. It made the video work. So yeah. Why don't we have a look at some more comments underneath that one as well? So, oh yeah, I didn't actually mention it in the video, but that was me playing the saxophone at the end. I played "Come Fly with Me" at the end, which is actually pretty difficult. It was difficult to learn. I hadn't picked up the sax in a long time, so it took me quite a few takes to get that song done. Let's have a look at some comments. Honestly, I didn't mean. Oh, so here's some more behind the scenes fun facts. Victor Almo says commented there was a line in the video where I said, "Only then do I get to go to a better place," or in this case, America. So I did a couple of takes of that one, where and in one of them I said, "Only then do I get to go to a better place," or in this case, and I said the name of the exact city I was going to. But then I thought better of it, and I was like, you know what? I don't want people from that city in my comment section to be like, "Hey, like, what's wrong with X city? Like, they're really good." So I was like, okay, I filmed it again, and I said, "Oh, in this case, America." So I just kind of insulted all Americans equally. So yeah, I actually shot two different versions of it. People in the chat are asking, why is Dragon Ball Z abridged in my recommended videos? I stick it on when I'm ironing. I was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z as a kid, and when I do my ironing, I was ironing this shirt earlier on, and I stuck it on, so that's why it's on there. Oh, this was really interesting. I got comments underneath the security video from both Israelis and Palestinians saying this was a really good video. Thank you for making it. You really touched on important stuff. I was like, oh, cool, Grant, that's really awesome. I didn't realize. I mean, I know the videos get watched all over the world, but I'm still like I'm still always surprised when I hear back from people. CTW331 says you haven't watched all of Nat's video. This one here that you can see, like, I haven't. No, that's probably like the second or third time, and then I haven't watched all of it through that time. Maybe I was just clicking on it to find like a camera angle or something. I don't know. Yeah. I've actually, here's some more fun behind the scenes facts that I can tell you because you're in the stream. Originally there was do you remember the bit in the video about entrapment, where I talk about the police arresting you for stuff? Originally there was another bit of the video where I said, although not all countries do have laws against entrapment, which is why you should never buy weed in Belize, I've been told. And I actually cut that gag, because I was told when I went to Belize, there's no laws against entrapment, don't buy drugs, because your dealer will turn around and slap the cuffs on you. And I don't know whether that's true. They might have just told us that to stop us from buying drugs, which I probably wasn't planning on doing anyway. Yeah. So I actually ended up cutting that bit because I wanted to like double check. I wanted to double check that entrapment was actually illegal in Belize, but I couldn't find any conclusive results, so I cut that. Hello, Peter, in the chat rather. I've just made you a moderator. Welcome along. Vinicius Moraes says, clicking on it to find a camera angle. Yeah, so you can't see it because you're perched on top of it, but I've got this new vanity mirror here, and originally I was planning on doing like an over-the-shoulder when I did the makeup stream a while ago. I was planning on doing like an over-the-shoulder shot where you could see my reflection in the mirror. So I was like, I knew Nat had done an angle like that, so I was like, oh, like where was the camera? And I played around with it, but in the end it turns out this mirror is just not big enough. So that's why I was getting a camera angle from it. Oh wow, Tyler Graham was crying watching the video? I'm sorry. Funky said, did you talk about the weed entrapment stuff in a tweet? Yeah, I did. I was trying to find out then whether entrapment is legal in Belize. I still haven't found out, so if anyone is living in Belize and knows your laws on entrapment, please do let me know. Oh yeah, this was interesting. I got a lot of comments from people who were actually younger than 9/11, who don't remember it anyway. So yeah, that was kind of weird. Made me feel a little old, but that was kind of fun. Yeah, more people say I've never known a time when going to the airport didn't mean an invasion of privacy. Yeah, I mean, I barely remember it. As I said, it was like 8 when 9/11 happened. Yeah, it's tough to remember a time before that, but I do if I just kind of stretch my mind. Yeah, this is something I wish I'd brought up from Ms. Kalukas. Says the gradual militarization of the police is something that is tied in with sort of increased security as well. Yeah, I wish that's something I mentioned as well. It's nice to hear people's like feedback, and when it chimes with my notes to self too. It's really, really cool to hear that. People in the chat asking how old I am. I'm 25. Do you believe it? No one ever believes it, but yeah, I am. Hey, Badmouse was in the comments. Love a bit of Badmouse. Badmouse has moved recently, hasn't he? He's moved from Bristol to moved further north. And he's quit that hotel job he didn't like doing. Nice. Oh, I loved this. I love this comment by Gyro. The core of philosophy is as the adding of ness to the end of words. I really, really loved it. Max Lundqvist says, Ollie's 25, I'm 27, I should stop calling him daddy. You can call me that if you want. I don't mind. Yeah, August Deniers and Cheryl McQueen, I guess we're the same age if you're 25 too. Isaac M, do people think you're younger or older? People always think I'm older. Always, always, always. It's the beard. If I shave the beard, you'd all be like, oh, you're like 17. But no, it's the beard. People always think that I'm older than I am. And also because I have an MA, people assume that I'm older too, I guess. But because I did my MA in Scotland, I got it faster than you normally would. So. Oh yeah, people really enjoyed the Scanner Darkly bit at the end. So you know that little monologue I did at the end of the security video, the one about the security cameras that don't blink? It's from a Philip K. Dick novel and film called A Scanner Darkly, which is one of my favourite films. It's really cool. It's Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr. and what's it called? Woody Harrelson, all in the same film. And it's about drug addicts in the future. So, yeah. When's your birthday, Ollie? Did you turn 25 this year, or are you going to be 26 this year? I turned 25 this year. I'm going to be 26 in April. My birthday is the 24th of April. I'll be turning 26 years old. Yeah. Feel free to send presents and stuff if you want. Oh, you know I have a PO box, right? I did announce the PO box on the last stream. So far, I need to be careful because this has my address on it, so I may only see this side of it. So far, this is the only thing that's arrived at the PO box, and it's for H-Bomb. So you probably know me and H-Bomb are going to have a joint PO box. Somebody's sent him some kind of video game, I think, from Switzerland. Michael sent H-Bomb a video spiel from Switzerland. So if you want to send me or H-Bomb anything to the PO box, because right now, we're paying a fair bit to have this PO box, and so far this is the most expensive present I've ever bought anybody. I'm basically paid to receive Harris's mail. But if you want to send us anything, the PO box is Ollie and H-Bomb's PO box 2662 Woodford Green, United Kingdom, IG8 1SP. There you go. The Warzone formerly someone in the chat says the shipping begins. Yeah, the literal shipping of goods and also the shipping. And now the shipping forecast. Feel free to send me anything through PO box. I'm especially keen on stuff for my walls because a lot of my walls in here are a little plain. I've got a big poster of Tom Hanks in Castaway over there, and I've got some art behind you that you can't see. But other than that, like all my decorative stuff's on this side for the live stream angle, and then all the kind of technical stuff for microphone equipment and like crap is just out of shot here. So movie magic again. Let's keep going down. Oh, so a few people were interested in why I didn't touch on the idea of security theatre in the security video. And it's kind of been done before, really. It's sort of been touched on. And I felt that if I did go into it, it might be like... So when I'm writing a script, I usually think a script that of mine can handle like 2 turns. Like there's the original point, and then there's a turn, and then there's one more turn, and then that's the end. Where Security Theatre would have been like turn, and then it was just like too much. At that point, my brain starts like fizzling out because I can't like. I need to have like the thing, the other thing, and then the other thing. Whereas if there's the other thing, then I'm like, okay, I've forgotten the first one now. So I thought about touching on Security Theatre, but people have talked about it before, and there was other stuff that I wanted to include, like the idea of the parallel to camps, and also the differences between camps and airports, which I really wanted to like explain and be important, and the parallel to detention centres. So, yeah. Thank you, Taylor Monroe, for posting the PO Box address in the chat again. Petrified Ewan Heeds says, it's a good day when Ollie posts. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah, again, Jojo Scotia says, didn't believe that I was from Newcastle. Again, very few people do. A lot of people are like, there's no way you're from Newcastle. I'm like, I am, definitely. I lived there for like 20 years. But my parents weren't Geordies, so the accent wasn't spoken at home, and I never really picked it up very strongly. I'm just going to move myself over so you can see those lovely flowers that I picked up yesterday. Fresh for the stream. Oh yeah, so Scarlet Opinions, and a few other people. This was a note to myself I had actually. So I talked in that video a lot about how it can be difficult to go through airports and violations of privacy and so on. But something I didn't touch on that I really wish I should have done, or that I really wish I had rather, was how that kind of burden of travelling through airports and the privacy being invaded is not shared by everyone equally. If you are trans or if you're a person of colour, then it can be like a lot worse for you. And that's something I wish that I'd touched on. Actually, yeah, I think it's kind of pretty glaring oversight. If I were to go back and make the video again, then I would probably include a little bit more of that. So thank you to the people in the comments who pointed that out. Oh, this is an interesting comment. The eliminate... Oh, no, wait, no. I'm looking at the wrong one. That's it. Non-superior. The whole thing's become a jobs program. Flying used to be fun. Yeah. I mean, something I've noticed on a lot of flights, maybe because I just take a lot of budget flights, because I don't have a lot of money. But something I've noticed is a lot more adverts on flights now, where as soon as you get up to cruising altitude, they're like, and now we have the duty-free, where you can buy flub and like chicken and blah, blah, blah. And then also we're selling it, and then also in the Sky magazine, you can get Skies and buy them and magazines. And it's like, okay, just shut up. I'm trying to read a book or like listen to some music, or not listen to adverts. So yeah. Shay Welton, Ollie, I really appreciate the attention to detail you give these live streams. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you, Shay. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get better at streams and like hoping that it shows. Just re-angle you all slightly. There you go. Yeah, a lot of people seemed not very optimistic about security going back to normal. Yeah, we'll see. I hope that it can go back to normal in theatres, just because like there's no need. And I went to the Globe. Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, go on. I went to a theatre a while ago, and they were checking people's bags, and I just kind of didn't really look at them or say anything. And I just walked in. They didn't even check mine. I was like, and they weren't even checking it properly. They was like, they were just doing it to do it, and I was like, just don't do it then. Like, there's no point. Equality State of Mind says, you argued with a strapped pig. England is a different country. Yeah, I did have an argument with an armed policeman. Like a friendly argument. Not a kind of like, you pigs. Just kind of like a, what? Like incredulous back and forth with this armed police officer on the train station at Newcastle Central Station. And yeah. I did have an argument with him, and I did end up almost missing my train because I was caught up in it. And he did end up being like, well, it's a difference of opinion, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, but it can't really be free to disagree when you've got a gun. Like, and also, like, even if I disagree, like, you're not going to go away. So that, like, we can't really have it's not a discussion between equals here because you've got all the power. So, Pastas in the comments. Ollie's been hitting the gym. My man's got the pecs. Thank you, Pasta. That's very kind of you to say. I've been training hard a lot. I said on the last live stream, like, I've really been hitting the gym hard. A little bit too hard. I'm back on the deadlifts now, so I've kind of knacked my shoulders. But yeah, something's happening at the end of the month, and I'm training up for it and like wanting to be in really, really good shape. So. My favourite quote about privacy is I have nothing to hide, but I'm still wearing trousers. The compiler says this is a nice way to have comment responses. Yeah, I think so too, isn't it? It's good. I was keen to learn how to do this bit where like I'm up here in this tiny box, and then we can look at other stuff, and I can switch back and forth. I was keen to learn how to do it because it's a nice little look, isn't it? It's quite cool. So this was an interesting comment by Mark Wilson. A single bioweapon attack could kill millions of people. You should consider this when complaining about security. Yeah, what I said in response was like, is there any evidence that could that's going to happen? Because if there's no evidence that like an attack like that is going to happen, then you've got to admit that your position is based on absolutely zero evidence. And it's like, well, if you're going to make very serious political decisions based on zero evidence in one domain, why is it okay to do it then and not in others, you know? It just... yeah. I mean, I get the point. I get like, oh, like it's a risk, you know, you're asking people to take more risks. And like, yes, I kind of am, but like... if you've got no evidence that such a thing is going to happen, or like could happen, or is likely to happen, then you kind of, by definition, like... it kind of, I feel like they're kind of writing off what I was saying as like just complaining. Well, actually, what I was trying to do is draw attention to the fact that, like, you know, guilty until proven innocent is the sort of operating principles in camps and airports and detention centres. And there's a way in which that's like, I just don't think it's right. Peter Coffin and Sabrina Granger in the chat really prefer this than the previous responding to comments videos. I'm glad you like it. I like it too because it's also not scripted. Sabrina, I'm going to make you a moderator. I've seen you in my chat a few times, and I think you're a good one. So give you some powers to be a chat sheriff when I can't. Yeah, I like this too because when I used to do comment response videos, like it was obviously edited and scripted. So now you get my live thoughts, which maybe are slightly like less in depth, but hopefully more entertaining at least. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of like sad by this. Wait, Jay Rennick says, please don't argue with security guards about whether a job should exist. It just holds up the line. Well, when I had that argument with that police officer, he wasn't doing anything. Like, I wasn't holding anyone up. Oh, Barbara Fortunato says, I want to see Ollie do a video on sex work. Yes, I want to do a video on sex work too. I think you're absolutely right, Barbara, in the chat. I've never seen anyone like do a serious video about sex work. I haven't like really looked that hard, but I really like to do a video on sex work, and I've read a little bit about it, and I think I could do like a good take on it. I need to get my sources together, write my notes, and like read some sources and get some words of actual sex workers in there, and like read up and study up a little bit. But I'm kind of like, I would really like to do a video on sex work. I think it would be very interesting. And also, I see a lot of people on the right criticizing sex work and sex workers, and I think there's a potentially like really interesting other side to that, because there was some USSR communists were very critical of sex work as well. So it might be interesting to look at not just the right-wing people who don't like sex workers, but also I see people on the left who are quite anti-sex worker too. And it might be interesting to like say, hey, somebody like Kalantai, Soviet criticism of sex work, might be interested to see the other side of it. Yes, Riley J. Dennis did a video about the arguments for decriminalising sex work, and yes, I want to watch her video as research as well, because Riley's really, really cool. In fact, Riley has very kindly helped me write the script for an episode that's going to be coming out in like a month, so which is about transphobia and ancient Greek skepticism. So yeah, I'd like to do a video about the philosophy of sex work, and definitely, yes, talk to sex worker activists about it. I would probably have to like do something clever with the title and the metadata, where I had like I couldn't call it like sex work. It would be like #X. In fact, for the mental health and suicide video, I can't call it that. The title is like, it's like SU CIDE and like MENT@L health. Because if I just call it suicide and mental health, it'll get instantly demonetized. And so far it hasn't been. I haven't put the subtitles in yet, and I know that the demonetization algorithm does read your subtitles, so I'm like, I need to go through and like edit all of that. But yeah, literally propaganda in the chat says, could you talk about how sex workers' rights overlaps with workers' rights generally? Yes, I think I could. There's some really, really good philosophy done by sex workers, especially about like labour and what labour is and like work and stuff. So yeah, it would be interesting to like, it would be interesting to try and find the balance as well, to get words of sex workers who may be against it as well. So yeah, it will be a challenge, but I hope that I could do something good with it. Ooh, DanMan1950 in the chat says, thank you for recommending Caliban and the Witch. It's a really, really good book, isn't it? It's really good. In fact, I'm rereading it at the moment because I'm planning a video on witchcraft, which I'm hoping, I'm not going to make any guarantees, I'd like it to be out before the end of October. I'd like it to be in the next batch of stuff I film, if I can get the right equipment to film it in the way that I want to, because I don't want to film it in the studio or in the normal way. It's just notes at the moment, I don't have a script, but I'd like to do a video on witchcraft. And there's a really good, if you're in London, there's a really good exhibition on at the Ashmolean at the moment, the Ashmolean Museum, about witchcraft and magic. And I'm going to go to that exhibit in just over a week and check it out and get some cool research and maybe some ideas for how to do the aesthetic of the video as well. Yes, people speculating about why I was going to America. Hey, Scotch was in the chat again. My boy. My son. Vinicius Moraes says, are you going to do the witchcraft video with Nat? I don't know, I mean, I'll ask her about it, but like, she's super busy, and like, you should see, like, it takes her all day to film even just like a tiny bit, because her process is so detailed, like with the nails and the costume and everything. So maybe, but to be honest, if I wanted Nat to be in it like in a full capacity with like a full character and stuff, I probably would have had to book it months ago. But I'll ask her about it, and maybe there'll be room for a cameo or something. I really don't know what direction I want to take with it yet, so maybe it'll turn out that it's not really appropriate. Or not appropriate, but like maybe it's just it wouldn't work with the video. But we'll see. I haven't really like figured out what I want to do with that video yet. I thought about maybe like the other day. I thought, could I do it in character as the devil? Because I've got a goatee. And I was like, could I do like ASMR devil? Like, have you seen the film The Witch with Black Phillip, who's the devil, who has like, do you want power? Do you want revenge? That kind of thing. I was like, I could do that. But that's kind of a lot for like a full 20-minute video, so I haven't really decided how I wanna do it. We'll see. This was an interesting comment to me. Somebody said I sound exactly like Bad Mouse. I think me and Bad Mouse have very different accents, but maybe that's me. I've got a name for accents. Literally propaganda in the chat. Does the video on witches have implications for women's rights? Yeah, big time, big time. That's why I kind of want to do it, because it's really. it's really like relevant to women's rights and also like capitalism as well. So Arcane Voices ASMR Devil XD. Yeah, it's good fun, right? It might be nice. I know people have been wanting me to do ASMR for a while, so more people asking why I was going to America. More people who couldn't believe that I was 25. Okay, I think we're probably getting to the end of the comments. A lot of them are kind of repeats now. Okay, people are keen on the ASMR devil idea. All right, we'll see. I'll bear that in mind. Badmouse sounds like he could be Ollie's little brother. I don't have any little brothers. I've got 2 older brothers, and I've been told that I have the same voice as the middle one. Over the phone, we're pretty indistinguishable. So, Ollie is 25 and a father to at least 25 kids. Not as far as I know. Okie dokie. I think we're probably towards the end of the comments here. I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna stay too late tonight. I'll probably go for another like 20-25 minutes or so, just because I'm in this play tomorrow, so I want to get some rest. So, by all means, ask me questions in the chat and super chat me, and we'll hang out for a few more minutes. Okay, I think that's probably enough there. So let's switch back to. There we are. Now you can see all of me. How are we doing light-wise? Yeah, we're doing good. Nice. Welcome back. So I'll just hang out and like read the chat for the rest of the night if anyone's got any like, questions or anything. People are still very keen on the witchcraft idea. I'm glad. Move this candle down here. Skelejo Man is asking in the chat about what sort of costume I might do for the devil if I end up doing it in devil. I don't know. I've got a big red velvet cloak that might be good. Now that I think about it, this might be good, but we'll see. Geshtin, any chance you'll ever narrate documentaries in your David Attenborough voice? Like, maybe I'd narrate, whatever people would let me do. Oh, I still can't tell you about this, but I know a lot of people are keen on me doing an audiobook. I can't tell you what it is because I'm still under NDA, but I have actually recorded an audiobook recently. Just coincidentally, as an actor, I got a professional audiobook job. And the subject matter, I think, will be very up your street, a lot of you. And I'm still under NDA until the book comes out, so I can't talk to anyone about it. But there is an audiobook that I have recorded. There is some sexy stuff in it. Like, not sex scenes, but like some, some slightly sexy bits. So if you want, there will be an audiobook coming out at some point, which I have narrated and done like accents and all stuff in it. So yeah. Adam Rainstopper says, "Do you play a musical instrument?" Yeah. So at the end of the video on security, there was somebody playing the saxophone, playing "Come Fly with Me" at the end. That was me. I was playing the saxophone. I set up this microphone in my parents' bedroom in Newcastle and whipped out the old sax, which I haven't touched in a long time, so it was kind of pretty rusty, but yeah, I played that. It's good. Oh, sorry, people in the chat. NDA is non-disclosure agreement. So when certain acting jobs you do, you sign what's called a non-disclosure agreement, which means you can't talk about what you did or where you did it or who you did it with until it comes out. Usually projects that have like any kind of money behind them, if it's like got a professional publishers behind it the book that I narrated is like being professionally published by a big publishing house, and they want to they obviously like want to control the PR around it and like when people find out. So I signed NDA, and also because of where I did the work. So the place where I did the recording is a place where a lot of other stuff goes on, and I had to like sign an NDA saying I wouldn't take any pictures or like say if I saw anyone or saw anything while I was there, which I did. So yeah, I'm still under NDA for the audiobook, but when I'm no longer under NDA, I will tell you. I'll tweet it out I'll definitely put it on Twitter, and you can hear all about it. And then you can get a copy of that audiobook if you want, and I'll read it to you. I've been in touch with the author, and he's really keen for me to tell you all as well. So I asked him, I introduced myself to the author and said, "Hi, I'm the actor who read the audiobook. Did you know that I was a YouTuber when you hired me? And that I have this audience who will be very interested in the subject matter of this book?" And he was like, "Oh, like, I didn't hire you. Like, the sort of, I guess the publishers or whoever must have arranged that whole thing. So it was just a massive coincidence, I think." And I was like, "Well, yeah, you know, my audience are going to be really interested in this book, and I'll tell them all about it when it comes out. That'll be fun." Okay, let's just read the chat. Maybe I'll hang out for a few more minutes. As I say, I'm not going to stay up too late tonight because I'm in this play tomorrow and I want to be well rested. It's going to be a late night, and it's going to be an energetic one as well because I'll be on stage. So I'll hang out for a little bit more, and then I think I'll probably have some ice cream. Literally Propaganda says, "Can you do some philosophy of acting?" Yeah. So I've got a script, an old format script about acting in my computer, and I'd really like to. There's something about like combining an episode on acting and doing a video on like what is authenticity, because there's been a lot of chat recently about, particularly with regards to burnout, about like what it is to be authentic online, and I really approach that differently because of my professional acting training, and also like people playing characters on YouTube channels. Like I have a very different take on that than I do than I think a lot of people do because of the acting training. So I really want to do a video on acting and like authenticity and what it means for an actor to be like truthful. I'd really like to do that. Makai no Kaya says, "Could you do audiobooks of public domain stuff?" I mean, I could, but it takes a long time to record an audiobook, a really long time. So when I did this audiobook gig a while ago, it took me like 2 solid days of like sitting in a booth for 8 hours a day. Just reading, and it takes a lot of time. So like, unless somebody can pay you, it's a significant chunk of time that I can't really take off. Like I can't really take a week out and record Das Kapital. It's also exhausting. It's really knackering reading an audiobook, but you wouldn't think, because you're just sitting on your ass. Like, what are you doing? But no, it's actually exhausting. Especially like, and also you need to hire someone else to be the sound engineer, because otherwise. So as I was reading this audiobook, there was a guy in the other room listening, and he'd like stop me and be like, "Sorry, we just go back on that bit. You popped on the mic, or that was just a bit hot, or whatever." Whereas if you don't have that, if I like did the audiobook of Das Kapital, I'd have to record the whole thing, listen back to the whole thing to figure out where I needed to do pickups and change stuff, and then go back and re-record it. So it would be a major like undertaking, and I would really need I'd need to be paid. Otherwise, I just don't have time. That's the bottom line, really. Sabrina Granger says, "Would you consider making a video about the philosophy of love?" Maybe. I did one for Valentine's Day ages ago. But I think I did one about the philosophy of love years ago for Valentine's Day. Yeah, it might have even been the first year of my channel. I did one about like the ancient Greeks had different ideas of love. Also, people asking me to do audiobooks of Das Kapital in the chat. Like, if I were to be given a lot of money and be like, make a Philosophy Tube project, like if somebody gave me like $2,000 and was like, make a project, to be honest, audiobook of Das Kapital would be pretty low on my list. There'd be other stuff I'd want to do first. I'd really love to. If I had a lot of money, I'd love to do. I'd love to go to Venezuela and do something about like communes and like the way because they're doing really interesting things with communes in Venezuela. That'll be really cool. Or like, me and Badmouse ages and ages ago, months ago, had like a really crazy idea to go and vlog in Pyongyang. I was like, if somebody gave me a lot of money, I'd love to go and do that. I was chatting to Jazza John, who's a YouTuber in the UK a while ago at a party, and he was saying that actually people have vlogged from North Korea before. There was a travel vlogger a few years ago, British travel vlogger, who went surfing in North Korea, who was very heavily criticised because he basically just made a video about surfing and didn't, which I've not seen, and people were quite cross with him because they felt that he like hadn't really addressed the politics. So that would be quite cool. Eric Pye says, please be careful in Pyongyang. I'm probably not going to go. Like, I don't. If somebody gave me a lot of money, like a grant or something, and was like, make a Philosophy Tube video, then I'd love to go to Venezuela, and it would be cool to go to Pyongyang. But like, I think there'd be other projects I'd want to make first, you know, rather than an audiobook. Would you do an audiobook of The Last Man? No, again, I would love to, but it's very long. I'd need to be paid. If it but if somebody said as a professional actor, like, do you want to do the audiobook of The Last Man? I would of course say yes. But I can't, like, it's not like generating audiobooks isn't really kind of what I want to do. What I want to do on Philosophy Tube, like with my creative side, it's not really something I'm like chasing. Because I feel like I don't know, most people could do that. Whereas what I want to make, I want to make stuff that no one else can make, and that's really why I'm really excited about the Philosophy of Mental Health video, because I don't think, and you'll see when it comes out, and I'll talk more about when it comes out on the 28th about why, but you'll see I don't think anyone's ever made a video like it on YouTube before. I've never seen anyone do it. There's like individual bits of it that are like recognizably from other stuff, but yeah, no, I think it's kind of like a mishmash of genres. I don't think anyone's really made anything like it before, which is quite exciting. There's obviously some influences you'll see in there, like there's a little bit of Contra, there's like a little bit of H-Bomb, and there's some bits of it that are like recognizable in my sort of voice of God stuff, but also as it's been coming together in the edit, it's become more and more like a horror video, if I'm honest, like the way I've edited it and the way that it like changes tone and the way that it's like it's quite a creepy video like to watch, at least for the first half, and then halfway through it changes big time. But for the first half of it, like there's an interesting like and I filmed it as like a voice of God style like presentation, and then as I was editing it, I've kind of edited drama into it. Not drama in the sense of conflict between characters, but drama in the sense of like there's clearly something that it's building to. So as you watch the video, I don't want to give too much away, but I guess if you're the real Keen Beans and you're in the chat, you know, I'll tell you, like as you watch the mental health video, like I want the audience to get the impression that there's like something else going on. There's like something bubbling underneath the surface that is trying to get out, which sort of manifests in more and more like creepy ways. And like the format gets messed with as well. Like, you know how I usually do like citations and stuff and like different shots and stuff, like transitions. That all gets like gradually messed with, and then the thing that is trying to get out gets out. Yeah, you'll see when you see it. But I'm really proud of the way it's been edited. Yeah. Somebody says I should save it for Halloween. No, I don't think so. I need to get this video out. I've been working on it for a long time, the mental health one. Literally years I've been working on this, and obviously in various different forms. Only in the last few months have I like really taken it seriously and been like, yes, I need to make it. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild. And I'll have more to say about it, and also like why I've done it in the way I've done it when it comes out. Yeah, I think it's gonna shake a lot of people up. It's shaken me up making it. I think it's gonna slightly change my online brand too. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, I do. People in the chat saying I want to make stuff no one else can make. Yeah, I do. Like, I want people to come to my channel and not really be quite sure what they're gonna get. I do the kind of white studio voice of God style stuff. And I want people to, like, you're probably going to be at least a little bit of that in each video, but I want people to not always be 100% sure what it's going to be. So I've done the Elon Musk one. There was like lots of stuff that's really out there. The mental health one, there's lots of stuff in it that is really out there, and the video like totally changes genre halfway through, which is like, as I said, like unlike anything I've seen anyone else do, which I'm really proud of. But then the one coming out after that is about skepticism, ancient Greek skepticism, and transphobia. And in that one, I've very much stuck to the kind of... It's more like the security video. It's kind of pretty voice of God, pretty straight down the middle. There's some like B-roll gags, but most of the time it's pretty like standard studio stuff, like Philosophy Tube classic, but like good. And there's a reason for that. Like that I've done it that way. Obviously, because like I can't really bring as much personal experience to that issue. So Theo Caro says, "What does voice of God mean?" in the chat. Sorry, it's kind of a bit of an inside baseball term. So voice of God is like a style of presenting. So you know the kind of it's where you just present the opinions as if they are not so much presenting them as if they are facts, but you just play it straight down the middle, right? So did you ever watch PBS Idea Channel? They inspired me a lot. They used to do voice of God style presenting, where it's just a presenter who maybe explicitly, maybe implicitly presents themselves as the authority, like teaching, right? Teaching is a voice of God style activity. It's like, this is the way it is, rather than say a dialogue, like a back and forth, which is more like what this sort of live stream is, or a dialogue between characters, like what Nat does, or a kind of or a narrator who explicitly draws attention to themselves as as their own perspective, as like not necessarily flawed, but like as one perspective among many, which I feel like H-Bomb does, or does a lot more. So Peter Coffin does like voice of God style stuff like really well, and I do like voice of God style stuff. Like I can do it. Partly because like I can do it and not be I can do it and not face as much criticism as say somebody who wasn't like a cis white guy would, like, because people look at me and like they expect voice of God style stuff because I've been socialized, and people have been socialized to expect me to show and have authority. So there are times when that's really cool. There are times when I get bored of it, but there are times when it can be useful as well. And when like I can use that for good. I hope that's what I've done with the transphobia video. The script, the feedback from the script consultants I've hired has been like positive. I'm really excited to make it. Yeah, but you'll see when it comes out. That's not going to be coming out for like in another 3 weeks. I haven't even started editing that. Honestly, like editing the Suicide one has been so intense. Like there's been a lot of work and like a lot of emotional labour has gone into that one. I'll probably hang out for another like 5-10 minutes, and then probably go off and have some ice cream and rest my voice for the play tomorrow. Just gonna be good fun. So in the meantime, let's just read the chat. Feel free to super chat me, anything you like. Dimitriosk says, have you seen The Man in the High Castle? No, I've heard of it. I saw the advert. They used to have big posters for it on the tube here in London until fairly recently. But no, I haven't seen it. Bruce T says, Ollie, did you work with Professor Nick Regner at St Andrews? I didn't, but I'm sorry to hear that he's no longer with you. That's a real shame, but I didn't work with him, no. Eric Pays wants me to do a video on the philosophy of immortality. I don't... Maybe. There are a few articles written on it. I don't really have enough material, I think, to do a video on it. But I don't... I'm not going to rule it out. Okay, people in the chat are asking about the play again tomorrow. So, again, for those of you in London, I'll give it another plug. I'm in a play tomorrow at the Southwark Playhouse. It's on at 7:30. It's a 200-seater theatre, so I expect you'll still be able to get tickets. Southwark Playhouse, the play is called Thursday. It's part of an evening of short plays. It's about the alt-right on university campuses, and I'm going to be taking my shirt off in it. So there you go. That's the play I'm in. Scaledro Man says, what foods do you find help with your voice? I've heard that pineapple juice is really good for the old voice, but mainly just like rest. Rest and tea is good. Rumiko says they've heard of Voice of God style content, but they've heard it called Talking Head. Yeah, fair enough. But I guess you could do like H-Bomb does Talking Head stuff, and he more often like draws attention to his own perspective as a creator than I would say like Voice of God style stuff does. But yeah. Thoughts on the big leftist YouTube Disney holiday of 2018? Yeah, I think they're having a grand old time. What have I done with my phone? Yeah, I think they're watching Beauty and the Beast earlier on. I heard. Those of you who don't know, just some other leftist creators are at Disneyland at the moment. Mr. J says, "Did you shave your chest for the play?" No. No, I don't need to. It's fine. Callum Ferguson, what tea do you like the most? I'm gonna say Earl Grey. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. That's the future. Adam Rainstopper says, "Would you do a video on this on working conditions in American prisons?" Yeah, I'd like to. I think when I did the solitary confinement video, it would have been nice to touch more on prison labour. That's one of my notes to self from the solitary confinement one. Sabrina Granger says there's also a Left Tube Japan trip. Yeah, H-Bomb and Sean and Jen are in Japan. Everyone's away at the moment, and they're just little old me left in the flat alone. No, in fairness, I can't afford to go to America or Japan at the moment. But yeah, don't worry, I'm going to be taking some holidays of my own soon. I'm taking a holiday in the first week of October. So the mental health video comes out on the 28th. It's for reasons you'll see when it comes out. It's gonna be a bit of a big event, and I'm gonna take a week out at that stage. The content will still be coming on the usual schedule, but I'm gonna take a week off of editing and working on the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna go away on a little trip and have a very, very, very relaxing time. It's gonna be wonderful. I can't wait. Yeah. Kevin Carabello says, "I thought you already made a prison labour video a while back." Did I? I did one on whether prisoners should vote. Yeah. Oh, somebody said they really liked Dan's Twitter thread pretending he was spontaneously heading to Disney. Yeah, I didn't see that. So as of yesterday, I've deleted Twitter off my phone. And I blocked the website on my phone because I was reading Twitter a lot on my phone during the day, and I was not really having a happy time. So now I only have Twitter on this laptop, and so I haven't checked it at all in the last 24 hours, other than maybe once or twice to keep caught up. So I'm using Twitter less, which is really good. But the downside is I miss fun stuff like Dan's tweets. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go and get some ice cream and maybe play some Fallout. Did you finish Fallout 4? No, I haven't even haven't finished it. I'm something to scratch the surface. I'm a pretty high level because I've just been wandering around doing side quests, but yeah. I'm just reading the chat. I'm just reading what everyone's saying. Fallout 4. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's good fun. Okay. I think it's probably time for me to head off. Will you ever do a video on Brexit once it gets figured out? Yeah, that video's never going to come out. No one's ever going to figure that out. Okay. I think I'm going to go off. I'm going to have myself some lovely ice cream. If I can figure out how to stop the stream with this new software. So thank you all very much for coming out to the stream. I hope you've enjoyed the new shirt and the new lighting. Thank you for those of you who were bearing with me at the start with the technical stuff as I figure out the new software. Hopefully that'll be smoother. So thank you very much for coming out and for all your feedback and your advice, and have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye.